Hi everyone, this is Sherry Rice Smith, EFT for Christians. I want to give you another tapping tip today. Now remember, EFT is not a substitute for a sound medical or psychological advice, so please contact your own personal physician if you have those kinds of needs. So sometimes we want to tap, but to carve out that piece of time that is so necessary to sit down and get something accomplished seems to be so difficult today, especially when we have jobs and kids and maybe responsibility for grandkids or our parents. So I want to give you a technique that we do teach in class, but it's something I think that you may find handy and that you can also use for yourself. So let me just quickly review something else. So I always talk about in the moment tapping, and what I mean by that is when something triggers you, just at the moment, all of a sudden a trigger comes flying in, almost smacks you in the middle of the forehead, and you're like, you just feel the emotion rise. Take a minute and just start tapping. And I always say, pick a spot, any spot, just tap. I don't necessarily at those moments expect you to do a complete setup. Just tap and unwind and calm down that amygdala that just picked something up. Its radar just went off, and now you're flooded with an emotion, and maybe you don't even know what or why it just happened. So settle it down. I always use the example because I think everyone can relate to this. Someone just cut you off in traffic, and your anger just flared, and you don't even know what to do with it. And before you take it out on the dog or the kids or your husband, take a couple minutes and tap. Retreat to the bathroom. Now, usually you can shut the door and lock it for 2 minutes, unless you have toddlers or someone who could tear the house up in the record-setting 2 minutes. Just take a couple minutes, quiet yourself before the Lord, and just tap and quiet your amygdala. That's in the moment tapping. That's for immediate self-care. That's in an emergency. That's kind of tapping first aid. But then there are the times when I say we need to go sit down, to carve out a period of time, probably a minimum of 10-15 minutes. Hopefully you can find 30 minutes or more, and sometimes this is difficult to do. Maybe this is the time when you set the kids in front of a movie and then you slip off into the bedroom and tap. This is where you take out your personal peace procedure, you jot a note about the things that have triggered you in the past week, and you pick one of them, and then you do the full tapping. You set it up, you go in, you find what you feel, where you feel it, and tap that through. And then sometimes the Lord will give you a memory that is what really set this all up in your physiology with your neurochemistry, and then you can neutralize that. Now, there are times when we tap and we have great intentions and we planned X number of minutes to do it, but then we just simply run out of time. The phone rings, the kids come home from school earlier than we planned, or the doorbell rings because Amazon just brought a box and something needs to be signed for, or we suddenly realize that our husband has a meeting tonight. Oh my goodness, I better get supper started, or our whole schedule's going to be messed up. So you might be tapping and you realize you're not done and you're still in a highly charged state. Use this technique called the sneak away. So let me give you a couple of examples of something you can do. So you're kind of have to shut down the tapping all of a sudden. You're not done. You're still sitting at a fairly high number. Anything, in my opinion, above a 2 or 3 is still a fairly high number. If you have a 5, 6, 7, 8, you really have a high number. So try this. Go to the side of your hand and you can use your own words. These are simply examples. Even though I ran out of time, I did a good job tapping, and I'll finish this later. I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I'm still upset about all of this, I've done what I can today. Lord, I'm okay with it, and ask you to just help me put it away, and I'll finish it another time because I know you love me so very much. Even though this is such a complicated mess, and I don't even know if I'll ever be able to navigate it, I've done something to help it today. I deeply and completely accept myself. And then I would tap a couple of rounds. I've done the best I can. I've done the best I can. I've got a little bit of it done. I've run out of time. I'm going to ask my subconscious to just put this away for another time. It's okay. I'm safe right here, right now. Even though I didn't finish it, I'm okay. I didn't finish it, but I'll come back and do it later. I've done what I can. I've run out of time. It's okay. It's okay. Um, Usually that'll take the edge off of it again. Hopefully you'll drop down under a 2. If you need to do a few more rounds than that to get it under a 2, feel free to do so. Usually 1 or 2 rounds will do it. Again, with the setup, use whatever words you want and use whatever acceptance statement there you want to use. Now, my only admonition to this is do come back another day and finish what you didn't finish, because often what happens, the subconscious doesn't forget. And if you say, I'll do it another day, and you don't, the triggers most likely will continue to come. It's not because the subconscious is trying to trick you. The subconscious hasn't, your limbic system hasn't been settled down. Your amygdala hasn't been quieted around whatever this issue is. So make a note, come back to those memories, and finish them another day. Let me know if this helps. Let me know your comments. Let me know if you try it. Join us on Facebook on the EFT for Christians discussion page. Come to my website, EFTforchristians.com. I do have those couple of free things. And please, please, please check out my bookstore and buy the books directly from me. God bless you. And I do pray for everyone. I do pray. All right. Amen.